My name is Katie Carlson, and I will be reviewing a case about a UK grocery company opening a chain of grocery stores, but shortly after closing down due to a failed strategic communication plan. In 2006, Tesco, a UK-based company, decided to open hundreds of Fresh and Easy grocery stores in the US throughout Nevada and California. According to an article in Communication World magazine, the company had done extensive research. They spent years profiling the market. They sent executives to live with families in California to observe how they shop. They built secret test stores and randomly investigated the contents of Americans' refrigerators. But in 2013, Tesco announced it was selling all of its Fresh and Easy stores. With all the research Tesco did, it leaves one wondering, what went wrong? By applying what we have learned in recent weeks about strategic communication and incorporating ideas from sociologist Peter Berger, I will examine how and why Tesco failed to stay afloat. According to the Ohio State School of Communication, strategic communication teaches you the ways in which organizations communicate in order to accomplish a goal and includes courses that examine communication through public relations, marketing, communication, advertising, persuasion and public theory, and communication campaigns. Within the discipline of strategic communication lies Peter Berger's theory of how we construct knowledge about reality. He outlines 3 stages, the first of which being externalization. This is the stage at which people form their cultural knowledge about some aspect of the world. Or in the case I've presented with Tesco, this could be considered the research Tesco did on their market prior to opening their stores. But according to Nick Deruta's article in Communication World magazine, this is a huge area where Tesco went wrong. Tesco ignored their own research. They relied on what worked in the UK, which is a very different environment and market from the US. Tesco made its US stores entirely self-service, which American shoppers found off-putting. It sold food in small packages, while US shoppers like buying in bulk to save money. And its stores sold Tesco's unknown private brand, in a market that is famously brand conscious. Basically, Tesco believed it knew better than its research, and the result was a marketing disaster. Not trusting the research is a huge problem in the marketing world. Research is crucial to any communication plan, whether conducted prior to implementing something to identify a goal, or afterward to understand the audience, situation, and environment. According to Deruta, since the audience plays an essential role, they're often the primary research target. Through surveys, interviews, focus groups, etc., audiences come into clearer focus. We learn who they are, their habits, concerns, and preferences. All this data is invaluable when planning communications. Yet planning can get clouded when communicators believe they know better than their research. Berger might view this as a glitch in the externalization process. With this misstep in the externalization process, it leads to false objectification, the second step in Berger's theory. Ideas are communicated, externalized, and accepted as truth without any connection between the objectified knowledge and hard facts. After identifying the strategic communication faux pas Tesco made, I want to discuss what they could have done differently to be a success here in the US, by contrasting another up-and-coming supermarket at the time. According to the article A Tale of Two Supermarkets in Time magazine, at the same time that Fresh and Easy announced its closing of stores, another supermarket, Fairway, that began as a produce stand, was going public and opening 300 new stores across the US. Early on in Fresh and Easy's history, one of the biggest consumer complaints about Fresh and Easy was that it was neither fresh nor easy. Vegetables tended to be wrapped in bundles and cellophane to address the food safety issues Tesco executives inaccurately externalized was a big concern among shoppers. But by doing this, it meant that shoppers couldn't inspect the produce for bruises, or even buy just a single item. There was emphasis on ready-made meals, which didn't resonate with shoppers either, and it certainly didn't help stores live up to the fresh name. Presumably, Fresh and Easy thought it was offering convenience in the form of dozens of small neighborhood locations. But because the selection was limited, many felt the stores didn't deliver one-stop shopping, which wasn't convenient or easy. My sense is that what they tried to do was make a European model, says Professor Anthony Dukes at the USC Marshall School of Business. Europeans tend to make more frequent trips to the grocery stores, maybe every day or every other day, where Americans are used to going for bigger trips less frequently. So what did Fairway do differently that solidified its success? It read its market and accurately externalized, objectified, and internalized. According to Time magazine article, Fairway stores tended to be large. The Brooklyn location is over 75,000 square feet, with enormous selections of cheese, fish, and produce that's fresh and squeezable. All of this coming together is what some would say developed something of a cult following. The way in which we construct our knowledge and reality and form accepted truths in the world of strategic communication is critical. Research cannot be ignored. What works in one market, such as the UK, might not necessarily work in another. Tesco did their research, but relied too heavily on what was working in their native market, which ultimately was their downfall.